Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors and Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. Got a good show lined up and all kind of information for you, the Panhandle sportsmen of Florida. But first, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center, corner of Baldwin Road and Highway 77. Beautiful weather. 71 high, low of 56, and water temperature is 58. But don't be lulled to sleep now, folks. I was thinking driving in, it's still winter. It's still winter. Spring equinox is March the 20th. Now, that's about 1 month away, so we're going to have some more cold weather in it, but we certainly are enjoying this warm spring. I call it pre-spring is what I call it. But anyways, it's going to be some more cold weather coming. Don't cover up that firewood yet. Let's take a look at our river readings. Okay, that place called Bluntstown. Water's still high. Everybody's talking about high water, and it is true now. It's at 18 foot on the Apalachicola River. It had gotten up to 19 last week, up to 18 foot, slowly starting to drop. They're really pouring some of that melted snow down here, I guess, from Georgia. The Choctahatchee is going down, but folks, it's still 11 foot, and it got up to almost 14 foot. So we had some really, and that's how, good high water we need, for that spring fishing to make it successful. Take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Our high tide is at 1:01 p.m. and our low tide is at 11:23. Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery, when caring counts. That's their motto. Okay? Once a week we try to talk to Captain Blair Morgan for Blue Water Outrigger Report. And we got Blair on the phone now. Good morning, Blair.
Good morning. How's everybody?
We're doing well, buddy. What's going on down in your neck of the woods?
Well, I tell you what, the weather is really starting to get pretty down here, and there's a lot of people that's going out fishing, Winston. Like Sunday was a beautiful day, and they put the boats in the water for the first time this year to get out there, and they don't realize how cool it is out on the water. The water temperature is about 58 degrees, and it's kind of like a refrigerator out there, and the sun might be 70 degrees, but when you get out there on the water, it's still cold. That's
funny you said that, Blair, because I was going to talk about the same thing. I looked at all the boat landings, and they were full of trailers and all. I knew what happened, and I had talked to some people earlier, and they all went out. Not many people caught fish this past weekend.
No, Jimmy McNeil over here that owns the raw bar, he went out, and I watched him come in. He had a hood, he had a sweatshirt on with the hood on. He said he got froze, but they caught some speckled trout over here in Apalachicola Bay, but they was most of them short. There's a lot of people catching a lot of sand trout, this white trout, this time of year, and whiting off the beach. But that's about all that's going on right now.
Well, okay, you're talking about Jimmy McNeil getting cold. He's a big boy. He shouldn't get cold.
He's got plenty of insulation on him, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm telling you. But
he like the froze. You ought to seen him when he come in. It looked like an Eskimo.
Well, tell him I was going to come by and get some oysters this past weekend, and he was closed up Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, they've been having problems over there, getting oysters, and they've been closed a bunch. But he did open, I don't know, a couple of days this past week.
Yeah, well, he's usually open when it goes by, but the only reason it don't stop being there's about 29 people inside and about 200 outside, looks like. So, but he does well.
Yeah, Saturday night he had a big night, but that's the first time he'd been open in a while. But he's trying to get more oysters. That's a real deal around here right now. So
okay.
But anyway, that's about it on the fishing, and of course all the trout and all they still up the creeks and whatnot. But like you said, Apalachicola River's real high still. Yeah. We got spring golf season coming in. I guess about 3 or 4 weeks.
Right around the corner.
Yes, it is. And, the Spanish, they'll start running about the time turkey season opens, so there'll be stuff happening here for long.
We're right on the verge of it, Blair. So, listen.
Yeah, we are.
I appreciate that report. Hold on a second. I want to ask you something during the commercial break, okay?
Okay.
All right, folks, we're going to take this break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. Got to start off with some pictures here. There are some really good pictures. You know, we're talking about a fish not biting anything, but some folks are still catching them. So we got all pictures of bucks and redfish and bass within the past 4 or 5 days. Starting off with this kayak fishing. This is Perry Nelson. My good buddy Perry Nelson has really gotten into kayak fishing lately. And a nice one there, Perry. All right, don't forget, go in, it's a little early, but go ahead and put it on your calendar, Saturday, May 17th. You know, we support this one every year. Nick's Redfish Roundup, the 9th, and it doesn't seem like they've been doing it that long. I remember doing the first one. Freeport, pay out of $10,000. First place is $5,000, and we'll try to cover it and talk about it, talk it up, and a good redfish tournament. A lot of good fishing guys in that. All right, so put that on your calendar. All right, check this. That's a special picture. This is Braden Harris. Y'all on the lower right-hand corner, you recognize Michael Harris. That's his dad, and then Braden, his son. And this is Braden's first buck, and he got to hunt with his granddaddy, and it was a special hunt, and they were all excited about that, and that's something you just never forget right there. Good job, Braden Harris. Proud of you. All right, look at here, Keith Strickland. Got him a nice buck. Good job, Keith. All right, after Keith will come in here with bass fishing, Bill Laminack was trout fishing, caught this bass, and he caught it on a Kelly's Wiggler. Kelly's Wiggler right there. Nice, pretty bass. Speaking of bass, how about another one? This is Bill Laminack. I'm sorry, Bill on the other one. This is right here, John Daniels on this picture. Good job, John. That bass is already getting fat. That's a good female bass right there. All right. Speaking of nice bucks, Missy Gore. She out hunted her husband John up there at Bear Creek Hunt Club up off Highway 20, and they've really brought in some nice bucks this year. We've had quite a few pictures of them. A mess of trout. Troy Evans. They were wade fishing. Let's see, Wade or train. That was a Sunday afternoon with Wade. Okay. This picture here is sent to me by a friend. This is a special picture. 99% of y'all won't recognize it because it's so back in the woods. But this is Teloja Creek, and straight across the water there, where that stand of trees is sort of sticking out on that point. This is a creek my dad was raised on, and we fished on as a kid, and way back in the woods. And the last fishing trip I had with my dad was right there on that point. There's a little hole there, and we caught a mess of fish. In fact, right at the beginning of the show, when we do the graphics at the beginning of the show, you see us holding up a whole string of brim. We're right there on that spot. It was my dad. It was our last fishing trip together, and it was my dad and my son and my nephew. And we just had a special time that Saturday morning. So that's how Teloja Creek looks right now over this past weekend. It's going to really hit that spring picture soon. All right, how about another first deer, Jennifer Leonard Nice Wonder. Good job, Jennifer. Look at that big old smile on that face. Brant Marshall. What a nice redfish. That was my view Monday morning. It was a beautiful day in the woods Monday morning. I saw some deer and all, just didn't see anything I wanted to take, but it was a beautiful morning after that fog broke. Hiking on the Terrell State Park. This is Minta Sandlin and her 2 boys. That's at Terrell State Park on that bluff. So we're always talking about hiking and getting out, and that's a great place to go walking. That's right at the curve. The old Gregory house is there. It's a state park and got some nice trails. So it's a good time of year to go start doing some of that. We're going to talk about these water temperatures. I just want you to look at them right now. We're going to talk about it more, but you see what's coming off. This is my Kobe buddies and the Spanish people. You see it's getting a little bit warmer already down at the Cape. This was Tuesday water temperature, and here's another chart of it. This is one from NOAA. They break it down a little bit more, but you still see that warm spot right there off the point now. So we always keep informed every spring about this water movement and all. Okay? Just to let you know, the redheads and ducks are still here. These are some buffleheads and redheads right there in the bayou. They've survived through the winter and through all that shooting. All right? One more set of pictures. This is a group of them right here. Pam Peterson Kelly and Heinger at the state park getting dinner. Look, he stabbed that. What they do is stab that bluegill right there, stabbing him, and then it throws him upside down, swallows him. Okay, and you see him going down the neck. Okay, right there, top of the neck. All right, right there, going down to the bottom of the neck. That's Pam Kelly. and got them completely swatted right there. Good series of pictures, Pam Kelly. Good job there. All right. So that takes care of our pictures. I've got some emails. Let me go ahead. Let's go and take a break now. Come back and read these emails to you. Okay. All right, welcome back. Trying to catch up all the correspondence we've had. Really enjoy reading your emails and enjoy those pictures you send. Enjoy sharing them. Here's an email from Ronnie Harrison. If you remember last week, I showed the graphic of the deer and how you cut it up in sections and you use almost the whole deer. A lot of outdoorsmen do that. And Ronnie sent me this email. He said, I saw the show this morning as usual and noted the deer diagram. When I first started killing deer, my mother, Martha Tyus Harrison, taught me how to process it and the wild hogs I caught and killed while living in the Arcadia area of south central Florida. Let me stop right here. If you know anybody from Arcadia, Hernando, DeSoto County, Brooksville, that area there, they're the original descendants of the original cowboys that came through on the cattle as the Florida crackers on those cattle drives. And over the years, I've got to meet some down there, and even in college, they just remind me of some Florida Panhandle cowboys and farmers we have up here. There's really a kinship in that area. So when every time I see DeSoto County, Hernando County, or Brooksville, or Arcadia, I know the kind of people they're talking about. So anyway, let me get back to the email. My mother, Martha, was raised on a farm in the Delwood area of Jackson County. So obviously she married and moved down there, but she was raised up there in Jackson County. She lived during the Depression and seemed to know everything about making do with so little. As a lot of people, during the 30s and all, it was just prevalent throughout the area. You just had to do those kind of things. At first, I always wanted to throw the necks away, but she convinced me to start cutting off the entire neck from the shoulders to the base of the head. I would then boil the necks in the outside in a large pot like a turkey cooker. Once tender, I let it cool. I boned it, and then I sliced it in small pieces. I then placed it in a quart freezer bags for later use. I always cook the meat in a crock pot with onion and bell pepper with barbecue sauce. It does, however, require a lot of the barbecue sauce since the meat is dry. You will not hardly believe the amount of meat that would come from some of these necks and the barbecue sandwiches they would make. I'm still enjoying your program and still telling friends about it. Ronnie Harrison. Now that goes to show you folks, seriously, if we had hard times and all, you could really use a lot more meat. We throw away a lot of meat on processing and all. So Ronnie, I'm glad you're still using that meat around the neck. That was refreshing to read that, and thank you for sharing that with us. All right, that was good. Now next up, let me say something about announcements. One of the foundations of Panhandle Outdoors is the ability to inform and entertain you, the viewer, and we enjoy doing it. But you do your job so well in sending us these announcements. I love making announcements on anything outdoor related and invite people to it, and we just keep y'all informed on it. And so anytime you have an announcement that your organization is doing, is a fundraiser here or a fundraiser there, or trying to just do different things. If a church is doing a wild game, you know how we are on these wild game cookouts. We love these, and kids doing stuff, ladies fishing, and all that. So that's one of it keeps us going, all these announcements also. I want to show you this announcement right here. 11th Annual Wild Game Feast at Holmes Creek Baptist Church. All right, Doug Davis sent it to me. I'm going to read his email. He said, hey, Winston, the members of Holmes Creek would like to invite you and your listeners, okay, folks, your listeners, that's y'all, to the 11th Annual Wild Game Feast at Holmes Creek Baptist Church on March the 1st and 2nd, 2014 in Chipley. On Saturday, it starts, this is a neat setup here. If you see it here on the schedule, Saturday at 2 p.m. is a 3D archery tournament, and then dinner Saturday night at 6 p.m., and then on Sunday morning, a camo Sunday worship at 10:30, and the speaker there is Paige Patterson. I'll tell you more about him later. I'm going to try to get the folks from Chipley to come down here and talk about it, but I just want to let you know to go ahead and put it on the calendar now. That's going to be up on us pretty quick. I'll read the rest of the email. This is on these prizes. Look, the first place prize in the 3D archery is a bow, a G5 bow is the first prize. But look at here, check that out. The grand prize is a Honda Rancher 420 ATV. Also, you can get a Benali 12 gauge and many other door prizes. And he said, Winston, we all listen to your show in Chipley and are big fans. We would like you to mention it on your show, and I'll tell you more about the speaker and register. We hope to see you soon. Okay, so thank you, Doug, for sharing that with us, and we're going to have a lot more stuff coming up, okay, on that, and all kind of things coming up in the spring. Got a lot of comments. Thank you all for the comments on the St. Vincent Island hunt. Walter did a great job videoing it. It is so much fun to actually hunt it or fish something and not have to have a camera with you. And it's hard for me to, like this weekend is my quail hunt. So I'm going to drive up there Friday afternoon. I'm going to have a gun in one hand and a camera in the other hand Saturday morning. But so it won't be near the quality that you're able to do with a cameraman. But I've already taken some ribbon on my shooting ability, and I as always, I have some good excuses. This morning, I brought my original. I know Ronnie had some muzzle loaders on the other day. This is my original muzzle loader, beautiful gun. I love this gun. But what I was going to show you, I'm going to show you the bullet. If I got it here, you probably can. It's a little round bullet, okay? That's the actual bullet on the first one. This one came out in 7s and all. And you would of course, you'd put your powder down. Put your powder down in here. You pour it. We'd measure it out in a flask and pour it in here. Okay, and then put a cloth, and you put this in here, right there in the barrel. I don't want to put it in here now. And you push it down with this, and just sort of have to knock it down and sort of get it started, knock it in. And then you take the rod, and just like the old timers, and pack it, and pack it really good, pack it down like that. I just love the whole process of shooting a muzzleloader was and is enjoyable. It's just a thrill, and it's a heavy gun, and it's iron sights. And so I hadn't shot it in quite some time. So we borrowed that muzzleloader from Sam Phillips. Y'all know Sam, a lot of y'all do. And Sam guaranteed us all. The first time I shot it, you saw what happened. It was a false shot, so I had to reload, but that happened. So anyway, what happened is a hair trigger. If you notice this little double trigger here, okay, you cock it, okay, that's set right here. This back one, that sets the hair trigger. You just touch it. Watch this. I'm just going to, boom, I just touched it. And it goes off. And if you're not used to shooting what's called a hair trigger, then it really will catch you by surprise. And that's what happened seriously on that broadside shot I had. And, I would normally hit that, and I had not practiced. We planned to practice. We'll go over the weather called us before we went down there, and we didn't really get to practice shooting. And so as always, I always try to live by the Boy Scout motto, always be prepared. And I was not prepared, and you see what happened. It cost me a deer. But it's okay. We just had a wonderful time and all. And thank you all for the compliments on that. And I'm looking forward to already planning for next year. I've got I got the bicycle, but now I'm already designing a little trailer to pull behind it, and then I'm also going to try to get maybe a little small tripod stand so I can sit anywhere, so I can get up a little bit off the ground. I'm not going to do the ground blind again. The idea was good. We just didn't have I didn't have that vision I thought I would have. Okay. All right. We're going to take this break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back for a final segment of Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Appreciate you watching. I really do. Appreciate all the viewers and all our sponsors. We enjoy bringing the show to you each and every morning. Let's take a look at our fishing game forecast, brought to you by one of our sponsors, Mark Cowart, Edgewater Beach Realty, 832-6000. I know Mark is raring to get back some red fishing, he and Michael. Looking at our times today, we're looking at 101. I'm sorry. Let's go back to 3. We're looking this afternoon at this morning, let's get it right, 3:47 to 5:47 this morning, okay, and this afternoon, 4:12 to 6:12. Those 2 times right there, ideal times to go, but go when you can, but I found that to be true. A lot of times the deer are walking and the redfish are jumping at that time. Let's add some names to the pickle jar right here. I got these names are adding up right now. Dawn Price, got you in here, Dawn Price, and Aiden Price, okay, got y'all in there. Judy Corbin, St. Joe Beach. Judy, thank you for watching. H.C. Slay, Bonifay, and Debbie Harris, Panama City Beach. All right. So send those in anytime, and we'll be giving away tomorrow. We'll be giving away a red snapper and $20 worth, and we'll be giving a little spring. We're going to have a little spring sweepstakes coming up pretty soon, in March when spring kicks off, okay? Now, I was looking, speaking of books, and they're doing real well. Thank y'all so much, but I'm getting them in stores now. We already have some down at C&G Sporting Goods, already have some of the books, And Blue Water Outriggers, I took some of them Saturday, so they have some down there. And also we're going to get some of the Sunjammers and continue. If you want to, personally autograph to some particular person, just email me or call me or something, and we can mail it to you. Or the ones I put in stores, they're autographed. I just sign my name to those, but they're not personally autographed. But so you can do it either way, and they make great gifts, and they are in stores now. And I was telling my class the other day, we're talking about fishing guides and different things, and I was talking about the history. With this Black History Month, I always think about here locally. I think about Hawk Massalina. I tell that story every year in February to my students. The Massalina family, fascinating family. They had the bayous named after them and all, but he was really probably the first fishing guide we had that really got paid. And it's a fascinating story. Hawk now was born in 1840, okay, and he lived to be 108 years old. Died in 1948. But in the early 1900s, he actually, people coming out here paying him. And guess what he made on a 3-day, not just fishing, but hunting, on a 3-day trip, hunting, fishing, and get to camp. He'd show you where to camp. He'd help cook for you, and he did the whole three days. His total bill was $4. Okay, Justin Leake, Matt Smith, see that? I think y'all are overcharging these folks now for all that, but that, and I was so tickled to find that information because I was often wondering why the early guides got, and that, people coming in here, really, where the favorite spot they would go to was Crooked Island Sound, because they could hunt ducks there, they could hunt deer there, and they could catch redfish and all that. So that's just part of our history that's covered in a book full box. But fascinating when I found the price, because I had trouble finding what it cost. But anyway, that's the story on the Massalina family, okay? Got to wrap it up tomorrow now. We'll do our famous Friday fishing forecast and all kind of good stuff. I enjoyed bringing today's show to you. Be sure and do something good for somebody today. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.